Hi, my name is Hideo Kojima. I am the producer and director of Metal Gear Solid series. But the title that I like most is actually game designer because I feel that my position is designing games. Well, first, the trailer is basically we have concentrated so we can explain what the game is about, what Metal Gear Solid 4 would be. At the Tokyo Game Show version, this was not the case. What we were trying to intend to show at the TGS version was that how much we could show in graphic-wise or graphic level using the PS3 hardware. This version of the trailer is not about talking about anything of the PS3 or what's happening with using PS3. That was not my intention, but wanted to explain the story of MGS4, the theme, what kind of tone it is, the mood, and who will do what, which role. But of course, what was important was the surprise, the people who saw it. This year's MGS's 4's theme is basically sense, meaning the will of people or the emotion of people. So everything adds up in order to express that theme. Like, for instance, the music, for example. This is one aspect of the trailer, which is very important. The color of the whole, how MGS4 is going to be, the tone of MGS4. This all was to stimulate emotions. We even did not use the well-known MGS theme music this time. This is, of course, one is to surprise the people, but also to express the sense, the theme that we have. In our past Metal Gear series, it was almost like you're looking not in the battlefield, but from a distance and looking into the battlefield. This was kind of like the sense or the feeling you get when you play the game. But this time we changed the perspective quite drastically and differently, because now you're in the battlefield, you're in the war zone, you're in the war, and in the war there are some things that you have never realized until you're in that war. So the overall feeling is like sorrow, and things you have never noticed of damaging or killing is expressed there. Also, speaking of Raiden, that appears in the trailer, and people say it's cool. From Metal Gear Solid 2, actually in Japan, a lot of players actually did like Raiden, but we understand that overseas, US or Europe, players didn't kind of like Raiden. But I think that was wrong. The reason was that the people did not like Raiden was wrong. It was more of a frustration to Raiden that everyone wanted to play Snake, but didn't get to play Snake, so Raiden got the blame. Therefore, I wanted to prove by changing the perspective of how you can look at Raiden from a different angle and see that he's really cool. I wanted to kind of prove that by this trailer, by changing view, and now you get to see the cool parts of Raiden. We know that everyone ages. The users that played our game, even us who created Metal Gear, become old, and Solid Snake himself is becoming old. So that's why we kind of put that message also in that trailer, as representing it as Old Snake. But Snake, even though he's a superhero, he is a human being and he does age. He has so many experience. Like you could see in detail that he has been in many fights and battlefields, and he's getting wounded physically and also mentally. He's becoming hurt inside, and that adds up to becoming old, Snake becoming old. However, even though he is hurt or wounded, he is still fighting. I wanted to put that message to everyone as well, that even though you get old and you get hurt, you get experience, but you're still fighting. I've been creating many Metal Gear Solid as Metal Gear Solid Saga series, including the ones that were just called Metal Gear. Those were, I released 2 of Metal Gear and 3 of Metal Gear Solid series. Plus there will be an MPO, which is Metal Gear Portable Ops for the PSP, that has another story to it. So what I'm trying to say is all of these stories or the secrets or the side stories, it will come close to an ending, to answers to every detailed question that the user asks. We're trying to put in everything, the drama, the incidents that happened, the reason, the background in Metal Gear Solid 4. However, I cannot promise you it will include everything, but we're trying our best to include everything as possible. We will try to implement that motion sensor controller in MGS4. However, actually, I heard it about this news not so long before you guys heard it. So it was like a couple weeks earlier. Meaning I haven't had my ideas implemented in the game already. However, after I go back, I will try to implement so that it will broaden the Metal Gear Solid feeling and make it more fun to play. About the vibration, losing its vibration, I feel very upset and sad about it because that was a big part of MGS. However, thinking about the motion sensor, I do understand to some extent that both cannot coexist. Um, since we lost one, which is the vibration, and we gained one, the motion sensor, I will not try to make it plus minus zero. But using the motion sensor, I will try to make it more fun so that it will become a big plus at the end, and you'll get a bigger MGS feeling. We will try to release it 2007 on the PlayStation 3.